cool, maybe. I don't know. That's good. What's going on? All right. So this is what we're doing, right? So we're gonna be but we're gonna start talking about now, right? Since we're here. Well, I don't know if we all can talk. I don't know if we all can talk because well, then, yeah. So because I already gave him mic, so that way he's gonna talk about BNI, the group, what it's about, right? I'm not gonna say much. You got this. You got this. Yeah. And feel free to listen. If any of you guys want, just I'll give you. Just say I want to say a few words. I'll give you the mic. No.
Waiting for you.
All right, cool. Let's just make sure that we're all in the same shot. If you guys want to squeeze in?
Where we go? Oh, right here.
Yeah, try to squeeze in, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I just short ones in the front.
Try to squeeze in.
That's so sad.
Whoa. What we looking at?
Okay. Right. So we're here. We're gonna look here. We're gonna look here. Right. Awesome. So listen. Here's the thing. What you guys don't know is that. So we've been live for the last few minutes, right? So it's okay.
Nice.
It's okay. So sometimes it takes a few minutes to get up.
Okay.
Right.
How many people say it's like 2 million?
So just hold on to the expression.
Is that the case? I wouldn't be doing this. I'll be live streaming from the room, right?
Yeah, I know.
I wish. So we're gonna get started, guys. Eric Estevez here, another episode of Live with Eric and Friends, where we're gonna be featuring my friend and current BNI chapter member Paige Goldstein, where we're gonna talk a lot about marketing. But before we do that, look at the love and the support that we have in this room. This is our current BNI chapter. So I'm gonna introduce my good friend Ron Watt. Can you tell us what this group is, and that way you can educate our viewers today, Ron?
Yeah. So. Hey, I'm Ron Watt from Iron Technology. We are BNI Horizons out of Mountainside, New Jersey, where you meet at Cabela's on Tuesday, first of every month. And we're networking, growing our businesses together. And it's a great group, and we're actually doing a lot of great business together on that.
Good. Anybody else want to say anything? Want to say anything, Steve? He's the mentor. He's the OG.
I've been in BNI for many years. I got an opportunity to start a new chapter here, and I'm so excited to meet my new friends here, especially Eric. Eric is an all-star marketer. He's a great guy, great networker, and I'm really looking forward to first to see the podcast and to also be able to exchange business with my new friends here.
This is Nina with Climate Jobs at Travel. I just want to say how excited I am to be working with this great group of people. They really are. I'm looking forward to do more business with all of you guys. Really excited.
Anybody else?
This is Tom from Pure Clean of Broadway. I'm just here showing support for the group. Nothing to say much.
Hi, this is Bavita, and we are all waiting for you. Yes.
Guys, listen, this was unplanned, right? We just told people that we were going to be interviewing, and this is the support that the BNI Group has, Business Network International. We're actually going to be launching our first meeting, right, next Tuesday, right here at Bavella. Shout out to Marco, right, owner of Bavella. We'll be back a little later and say what's up in our stream. But Marco has been gracious enough to let us host our once-a-month in-person meeting right here at Bavella's. And if you are a business professional, if you're looking to join a group where we continue to grow together, refer business to each other, learn from each other, and support each other, like we're doing this right here, hit us up. We're going to be tagging everybody in this video. So I want to give a special shout out to Bavella's. I want to give a special shout out to BNI Horizons Springfield for showing the love. And without much further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on with the interview. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Tom, you're the best. All right, now we're rocking.
All right, let's do it.
Look at that. We have it's love. I feel the love in the room. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Feel a lot of love in the room. All right. Let's see how that. The mic is a little further away with this
Okay.
one, so let's see how the video quality comes out.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's make sure we're good to go. All right. Now we're cooking.
Beautiful.
Now we are cooking.
Yes.
All right. Cool. So that wasn't that so sweet.
Yes. That was so nice that everyone came.
You know what I mean? Like it's great to be part of a group. You might want to squeeze in a little bit more. There you
Okay,
go. We're gonna be
perfect.
close. It's so great to be part of a group that gives so much love and support.
Hmm.
And today, you know, I reached out to Paige because what she does is, and she's gonna introduce herself in a minute, is so pertinent to what I'm trying to do in my business. And I feel like if I'm trying to do it and I'm learning from people, like who better to talk about this with somebody that does this day in and day out for a living.
Hmm.
So Paige, can you let us know a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself to the world, please.
Sure. So my name is Paige. I work for Bullseye Media Marketing. We're a full spectrum marketing agency here in New Jersey. We also have an office in Canada. And today I will be going over a hot topic in the marketing world, which is SEO, AEO, and GEO. And I'm also going to be answering the very hot question on whether or not SEO is dead.
Awesome. Love it, right? Hey, can you move the screen? Push the screen a little bit more this way. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure. No, just the top part. Just the top part. Fold it down a little bit. Right? Yep. Right there you go. That's good. That's better. Much better. Awesome. So, Paige, first of all, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
So for the last several months, I've been doing this live with Eric and friends, highlighting certain businesses, from getting my first pedicure at a nail salon, having a conversation, to restaurants, to coffee shops. I tried a flying with a buddy of mine. That didn't work out too well with the live. But,
Oh no.
but I think what I try to do is I try to talk about things that are pertinent in today's marketplace, and also shout out local businesses that we live, work, and serve in. Right?
Okay.
So what better way to launch this? We're here at Bavelas. This is going to be our home at least once a month, every Tuesday, for a while. And I wanted to pick your brain
Okay.
because you're an expert at marketing,
Hmm.
and a lot of people can learn from you, right? And we like to give people free game.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to the next level, sometimes you got to pay for it, right?
Yep.
But so Paige, first of all, a little bit about your history before we ask you these questions. So you've been in marketing. How long have you been doing this for a living, helping other people with marketing and branding?
So I started working for Bullseye in January, but I've been a marketing student ever since I was little. When I was younger and my dad would drive me to school, he would make me listen to tapes of like the marketing experts like Dan Kennedy, Russell Brunson, people like those.
Okay.
So I have been a lifelong marketing student.
Got it. Awesome. So you kind of grew up in this, which I love it.
Yeah.
But not only that, right? Listen, there could be somebody that's been doing marketing for 40 years,
Yeah.
and they may be outdated with the way things are being done now.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that you're studying the marketplace today as it grows, and it's changing so fast.
Yeah.
So it's great to really be someone in the know to teach others. So awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been going to conferences. I'm part of a coaching community myself, and I'm always trying to, like, right before here, I was on a coaching call, like to talk about how to, and it's really about, in my business, is how can we grow our brand, right? People do business with Eric. People do business with anybody else who's watching here. So how do we continue to build our own brand? And one of the hot topics, and I honestly did not learn about this until a few months ago when I went over to Chicago for a conference. We've all heard of SEO, right? So can you, before we get on to the other topics, SEO, can you briefly talk about what that is?
So in very simple terms, the acronym SEO stands for search engine optimization. So let's say somebody types into Google loan officer in New Jersey. If your website is optimized for SEO, you are going to be the first person that pops up on Google.
Got it. So yeah, that was so important, right? Because you guys see that when you search for anything, businesses pop up. There's paid ads and those kinds of things, but you want to reach that. Well, you want to reach that organically, right? So I knew about that, right? Now, so much so where, and we're going to talk about AI in a minute because this is kind of ties into it. But I asked ChatGPT or Claude where I rank in SEO and it was a 6.5 out of 10, which I wasn't happy with that.
Right.
Right. So obviously, I had to look to see what I can do to improve my SEO when people type into search engines. Now,
Mhm.
the two acronyms that I just learned about recently, and I've posted videos recently about it, is GEO and AEO. Right?
Right.
Can you tell people what each of those things are?
So AEO is answer engine optimization. So if you've noticed, a lot of the times when you are searching something on Google, a lot of the times the first result will be an AI overview, and that's basically what AEO is AI recommending you as the answer. And then GEO is being cited by an AI tool like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. I will say ChatGPT is probably the most prominent one right now. 63% of AI searches come from ChatGPT.
Guys, and that's super important because let me tell you, I don't type into Google anymore. I straight use ChatGPT and Claude. I've probably had 16 conversations with Claude already, and it's not even 2 o'clock.
Mhm.
So I feel like Claude is one of my best friends.
Yes.
So people are asking these AI tools, and they're typing into these AI tools instead of going to Google.
Mhm.
So if somebody wanted to increase their SEO or their AEO, what are some of the things that you and your company do to help that?
So we are strategy first, and there's two different types of SEO, which people don't know. There's on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So on-page is everything on your website, and off-page is everything that's off of the website. So to optimize your website for SEO, which also coincides with AEO and GEO, is you have to make sure that the content on your website is directly answering the types of questions that your customers ask. And that's where Bullseye comes in. We do a whole market research, figuring out who your ICP is, ideal customer profile, figuring out what specific questions they are asking, and making sure that those questions are embedded in your website as well as those answers are embedded in your website.
So you do a full analysis on anybody that comes to work with you,
Yeah.
right? It's obviously analyzing their website, are they answering those questions?
Right.
Because right now, right, like when people are saying, "Hey, I want to get a mortgage," and they're in Union County, New Jersey, I want to be one of the first people that pops up,
Mhm.
if not the top. So how does GEO or AEO, like, what do they do to figure out if you're the top lender or realtor or marketer
Yeah.
in the area? Like, what do they search?
So the way that AI works is it will extract content from the website, and in order for AI to deem content extractable, it has to be extremely direct. So I guess in New Jersey, the market here is extremely expensive compared to other states. So
Yeah.
a young person like me, someone who's a 20 something, may ask, what are some first time home buyer loans that I can get in New Jersey? And if that's a frequent question that your customers are asking, you have to make sure that that is on your website. And the way that Bullseye approaches AEO and GEO is from our 3D approach, which is differentiate, disrupt, and dominate, which I can dive into now or a little bit later.
Yeah, I would love for you to dive into a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, it's getting loud in here, right? It was quiet
Yeah.
when we first got here.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have good audio. So you said something about like direct. That's something that is super important because when these generative tools, AI tools, they start crawling through the internet and they're searching for keywords, right?
Yes.
So quote unquote hashtags, right? Like, am I a lender? Can you lower that a little bit, JT? Oh, you can hear you. Okay. So for example, hold on a second. Can you see if you can hear me? Can you hear me? Instagram. Hold on, do me.
Oh no. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Okay, perfect.
Is your thing green? No, it's not. This is why.
Oh no. Okay. This is my fault.
No.
Oh no. Okay. Beautiful.
Okay, can we hear now?
Yeah.
All right, so no. Oh man, I don't know what's going on. With Instagram. All right, well, the show must go on.
All right.
Sometimes it takes time. So we talk about being not Instagram. That's weird. Let me. All right, so this is what happens when we're live.
Okay.
So one of the things we were talking about is being direct,
Yes.
having keywords.
Yes.
So one of the things that I recently learned was, it crawls through so the ChatGPT, crawl. They look at Google reviews. They look at for lenders and for realtors, for example, or businesses. They crawl through and look for reviews, and they look for keywords.
Yes.
First-time home buyer, for example. Grant program, Spanish speaking, right? What are some of these keywords? So when somebody asking for a Spanish speaking loan officer that focuses on grants, if your reviews have those keywords on it, it's gonna push you up in the rankings.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're being very direct on who your clientele is.
Yes.
So, when I just started a Google review page because I have about 180 Zillow reviews and I wasn't doing a good job with the Google. So what I did was I had to go back and ask colleagues of mine to write, hey, listen, we work together, let's write reviews. But there's certain keywords that they're going to be looking for if I'm a lender. There's certain keywords if somebody's a realtor. There's certain keywords if somebody runs works in a marketing agency.
Yeah.
So you have to be very specific, right? So the more information is out there on the web, the easier it is for them to pick out those direct information, and
Yeah.
you're gonna start to rank up,
Yeah.
right? So if you can go ahead and expand on what you were trying to expand before.
All right. So differentiate is content on your website that shows how your brand, your company is different from all the other competition. I think where some businesses fail with AI is they just write a very basic prompt into ChatGPT, put it on their website, and think that they're a marketing expert. But marketing is a skill set. So if you don't have the proper skill set to be a good marketer, whatever you type into ChatGPT, that's what everybody else who is also typing that exact same thing is going to copy and paste into your website. So what Bullseye does is we figure out what makes your brand unique, and that's how we differentiate. We dominate by making sure that all of the content is easily extractable by AI, and disrupt is where the strategy comes in because
So what you just mentioned before is differentiate.
Yes.
How do you differentiate your business, yourself, from other people doing similar things? So super key. I love that.
So again, taking that strategy approach first and hiring subject matter experts. Like for example, if I needed a loan on my house, I wouldn't write up a contract on ChatGPT, cross my fingers and toes, and hope that I'm not getting into legal trouble. I would hire somebody like you who's a subject matter expert.
Got it. Okay. Love it. And then you were talking about differentiate, and then what was the other one you were going to talk about?
Dominate and disrupt.
Disrupt. Okay. So can you dig a little bit more about disrupt? What does that mean?
So disrupt is where the strategy comes in, and that strategy is dependent on where the business is at in terms of whether or not SEO, AEO, and GEO is already optimized. Because in addition to AI extracting things from your own website, it also extracts articles that are on blogs, LinkedIn posts, social media, things like that. And in order for those things to be extractable, content needs to be consistent across all platforms. So that means things like in your Google business profile, a lot of businesses fail because sometimes their address on their Google business profile is different from their address on their website. So making sure that content is direct and consistent across all platforms.
Got it. And that's something that a lot of people may not even realize, especially like if you're a realtor and you're trying to develop your brand and you change offices, and one page has an old office, then you have a new office, and now you're creating inconsistencies. So it wouldn't make sense for AI to push you to the top of the list because where do you work? Who do you service? Where are you? Right? I love that. Right? But in that case, that's why hiring a professional is super important because
Right.
it's difficult to keep track of all that stuff on your own. What did
Yeah.
you say?
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you mentioned blogs,
Yeah.
right? And somebody mentioned that to me, and I don't really blog. Like, is that something that you help people, your clients create and do like on a repetitive basis to drive
So
consistency?
we write everything on our own, and then we'll pitch everything to different blogs. We're working with one company right now. It's a healthcare startup, and we've written articles that we're pitching to get written on Forbes. So we take care of all of that back end stuff, so our clients can focus on the things that they're good at, and they don't have to worry about developing a whole new skill set like copying, marketing, the technical side of SEO, things like that.
So you're like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So you say you figure out the strategy.
Yeah.
You say, okay, we got to get articles written about you. We got to get blogs. We got to get reviews.
Right.
We got to get social media content, and you kind of develop almost like a blitz marketing campaign, obviously that they have to agree to.
Yeah.
And then you run all that for them.
Yeah.
That's super important because I think in this day we drive ourselves crazy. I drive myself crazy sometimes because like, what am I doing? Am I like I have to educate people about buying a house.
Yeah.
While they're in the process, right? I got to make sure that the loan process is going smooth. Then I got to post on social media. Then I got to learn about SEO and GEO, AEO.
Yeah.
So it's like you're wearing a lot of different hats, and when you wear a lot of different hats, you're not hyper focused on one thing.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes hiring a marketing service is super important because you can focus on what you do, get the business, and continue to move up those rankings, those Google search rankings, the AEO, the GEO rankings.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So how about reviews? So like, how do you use reviews as part of your strategy when you're managing some of your clients?
Reviews are extremely important because they're extractable by AI, and they also help optimize for SEO. And in addition to that, it creates that human sense of credibility and trust. However, with reviews, you have to make sure that you're getting them frequently. You can have 50 plus Google reviews, but if they're all from 2023, that's not going to help you, and it's going to make your business maybe look like it hasn't been established for a while, or you had a decline in clients. So I would say the best strategy is, let's say you have a client with you face to face and they're happy with your service, get them to write a review then and there.
Yeah. I think that's so important, right? Whether it's a business here like Bovella's, who are going to let me shout them out. I'm going to pause as a commercial break, right? Shout out Bovella's for having us here. Great pastry shop, breakfast place here in Mountainside and Route 22 in Union County. So like if Bovella's wanted to increase their SEO, GEO, AEO, right? There's, I don't know how many, there's what, 40 people here right now. If half of those people leave a positive review today, that's only going to continue to help them grow. So like, it's really coming up with a strategy. How do you capture those reviews? And the best way to do it is capture them in the moment, right? Because I'm going to forget to write a review right tomorrow. And then who is it that writes reviews? Is typically people that are unhappy.
Right.
So you got to capture a better cross-section of your clientele, of your customers, because guess what? I had that happen to me. So I learned about this, and I never had a Yelp page. I started a Yelp page. I started sending reviews to people. Hey, can you do me a favor? So this is something I learned about Yelp. So I send reviews to people that I've done business with, and they were more than happy to do a Yelp review. Great. I got, 15 reviews in a few days. Well, nobody can see those reviews because I learned that Yelp has a policy. If they feel like they were solicited, they're not going to count them.
Yeah.
So I went from 19 positive reviews that I thought to 0. Then I had a client that was referred to me. Somebody couldn't do the loan. I didn't know what was going on. I said, let me go ahead and try it. I was trying to put it together, and I said, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work. Right?
Yeah.
She left me a bad review just because it wasn't going to work. And that one review that was on there is the only review on Yelp, because the 19 reviews that were positive were gone. And then I tried to remove that negative one. They were like, that was unsolicited. I don't know how they figured it out, but I have one negative review on Yelp. And I got discouraged. I want to delete my Yelp, but I got to now say, okay, I got to combat that. I got to make sure I get unsolicited positive reviews on Yelp, right? Whether it's in my email signature, if I'm helping somebody.
Yeah.
So people could say, oh, you know what? Eric educated me today. let me leave a positive review.
Right.
So it has to be accessible.
Hmm.
So here, like if you're in Bevella's and you're sitting down, it's about having a sign in the exit, or when you in the exit, hey, write a review for us, and we'll give
Right.
you a $5 off on your next purchase or whatever
Right.
the case may be, right? So awesome, cool. So let's talk about personal branding.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that we're almost becoming our own ecosystem
Yeah.
in business, right? Um, and social media is where it's at. Social media has the you can reach social. If you're not in social media for new business, I get it. It can be intimidating.
Right.
A lot of people that have run businesses for years say, I don't want to do social media. But you do have a much deeper reach, much faster if you use social media.
Right.
And you can become a little semi-influencer in your community, right? But can we talk a little about why is personal branding becoming more important than a company branding? Why do you think that is?
I don't know if it's more or less important. It depends, again, on the type of business and the type of company. We work with a lot of healthcare practices, for example, and when people are searching for a new doctor or dentist, they don't really care about the doctor's quote unquote personal brand. They're looking at their credentials, the reviews of the clinic, things like that.
Got it.
However, we also work with a lot of solopreneurs, people like coaches, and their personal brand is extremely important because their buyers are investing in them as a person. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say one is more important than
Got
the other. A lot of the times with marketing, it's not a one size fit all strategy. It's very dependent upon what the business or brand is.
Got it. That's really insightful. Got it. Yeah, I agree. I want to look at somebody's credentials if they're gonna get diagnosed me with life or death news, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, if somebody's starting a business, right, what platforms do you think they should focus on right now?
Yeah. Again, this is my answer is going to be it depends, because it depends on the type of business that person is in. For example, if Bovella's was a brand new cafe, a lot of people right now are searching on Instagram and TikTok for where to go out to eat. So I would tell a restaurant or cafe to start posting a ton on Instagram and TikTok. One of our clients right now, she's an executive coach. So we're telling her to post more frequently on LinkedIn because her ideal clients
Is on
are
LinkedIn.
spending more time on LinkedIn.
Got it. I think that's smart. So again, it has to be a strategy that works for your business, what kind of business you are. I love that.
Yeah.
It depends, right?
Right.
Okay. What about YouTube, right? Let's talk about YouTube.
Yeah.
'Cause we talk about Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn.
Hmm.
When should somebody be using YouTube as a strategy?
YouTube is great for long form educational content, how to videos, things like that. And it's also extractable by AI and great for SEO because Google owns YouTube. So I would say if someone like you wanted to educate somebody on the loan process, that would be a great video to put on
Yeah.
YouTube, because a lot of the times with Reels and TikTok,
Yeah.
people have really short attention spans. So if
Yes.
you want to create a more in-depth educational video, it would be advantageous to post on YouTube.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with that more, right? With you more. I also did a horrible job on YouTube, right? Since going to a conference, I said, all right, I'm gonna create one long form video every Saturday morning,
Right.
and I've been consistent. So what I do, Paige, is, and I use Claude. Hey, I need you to write a script. This is what I want to go after. Then I take that information, and this is good. This is free game right now for you guys. Right? I take that information, I create a script, I put it on a teleprompter on CapCut, and I read from the teleprompter, so I don't have to memorize it.
Right.
And I've been creating one 8 to 10 minute video every week. One week I do it in English, the other week I do the same topic in Spanish. I have about, I think, 8 videos or so right now, or 9. And what I've learned is, you're right, on TikTok or Instagram, when you turn it on, right, especially on Instagram, the sound isn't quite there, right? They want to keep it short form, a minute, right, long, right, whatever the case would be. But YouTube is, I use YouTube when I want to learn something,
Right.
right? I go into YouTube if I want to fix something that I don't know how to fix in the home, right? I want to build something, right, whatever the case may be. And you can do that while you're in the gym, 10-minute videos, and you're learning, you're consuming.
Right.
So I'm doing short form content in TikTok and in Instagram and Facebook, but I am getting better. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better at creating. I feel like when I have 50, 60, 70 videos in both Spanish and English in YouTube, with each of them having, and what I've noticed is the very first video that I posted page has the most views.
Yeah.
because it lives on there.
Yeah.
And then people discover it, and then all of a sudden, right, you start seeing the longer it sits there, the more views you get. And guys, it's just free game, man. You use that when you're creating content like this thing what we're doing.
Mhm.
We're using a platform called Restream, right? That is, it's recording this, and I know we're going live, and in a little while we're not going to be on live anymore, but it records it. Then I take this content and I put this hour-long content on YouTube,
Mhm.
and it's also helping me with my SEO, GEO, AEO.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you think makes someone memorable, like for the personal brand, like, you know, on social media? What like for you? You're probably looking at things from a different lens.
Yeah.
Because this is what you do.
Yeah.
Like what attracts you to somebody's brand on social media? Right
Yeah,
now?
so the people that are standing out the most on social media are solving a unique problem
Mm.
for a unique audience, and they're able to grab somebody's attention within that first 7 seconds.
Mm. So quick hook. Like you gotta have a hook
Yeah,
and to bring people in.
yeah,
And that's important too, because when I'm doing some videos, this is what
Yeah.
I do. Like sometimes I have a script and I talk into Claude and I say, I need a script. I need it to be optimized for Instagram. I need
Yeah.
you to start with a hook.
hmm
And you can use these AI tools to
Yeah.
help you grow your brand, right?
yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I guess I will say it's important to use AI as a tool and not as a replacement for your own brain, especially being in marketing.
Yeah.
I read so much stuff and content online that I'm starting to figure out when somebody just copy and paste something from ChatGPT. It writes a very specific way. It'll write something like, it's not this, it's this, and then go, and honestly. Or if a sentence starts with but, because, comma, that means that somebody copy and pasted it from ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
ChatGPT is great if you want it to proofread your content, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't rely on AI to replace your brain,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
It's a tool to kind of help things make it a little easier, because a lot of people
Yeah.
do, when it comes to social media, they have analysis paralysis.
Yeah,
What the hell do I write? I don't know
Yeah.
what to write.
yeah,
And it helps you at least come up with ideas and
Yeah.
structure things, but you have to make it in your own voice.
yeah.
But I've seen that too. Like I copy and paste, and right, it has a long dash
Mhm.
and then the emoji,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, oh crap, like this. So now I also even like I talk to, like, I'm telling you, Claude is like my therapist, right? So I talked to Claude and I said, hey, I want you to write this naturally, right? Like it's in
Mhm.
my own voice, right?
Mhm.
And it gets is getting to know me a little bit more.
Mhm.
I still have to read it and proofread it,
Right.
but it's so super important. Like, so one of the things that I did was it's crazy that I know this number, but last year I drove around the country in an RV for 30 days.
Right.
And the idea was I was gonna live stream more often,
Uh-huh.
but I realized when I was driving and stuff like that, I couldn't really live stream.
Yeah.
I'll get cut off.
Yeah.
Right. And then when I get to my next destination, it was too late. I was tired. I didn't do live stream as much as I wanted to. But
Mhm.
what I did learn is I was having all these conversations in ChatGPT, right, for 30 days.
Mhm.
Well, now one of my coaches said, Eric, you got to try Claude, right?
Yeah.
So I had to ask ChatGPT how to transfer all of my information from Claude,
Mhm.
from ChatGPT to Claude,
Mhm.
right? And they gave me instructions, and I
Mhm.
went ahead and I did it. I got an email, right,
Mhm.
whatever. I had 1,897 conversations in ChatGPT that I transferred over to Claude.
Wow.
So you can do that too. So you can use both, because, and we could talk about the difference between both and
Yeah.
what you prefer and why.
Mhm.
But now I use both options because I was like saying, hey, my people in my leaders in my profession was like, hey, Eric, transfer to Claude for
Yeah.
one reason or the other. So why is that? What's the difference between ChatGPT and Claude? What is one good at and the other one not good at?
I would say ChatGPT is good for quick queries, whereas Claude is quote unquote smarter. Like, for example, if you have Claude help you write something, it can help create different tables. Like sometimes when I write proposals, I have Claude proofread it and make a nice pricing table for me. You can't really do that in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And then also in Claude, you can create skills or workflows to make your work easier. Or sometimes people use Claude Cowork, where they add Claude as an extension, and it can go into your browser and do some admin tasks for you that you might not want to do, that take time out of your day.
Yeah, that's something that you guys can ask, right? Hey, what's ask Claude or ChatGPT, whoever
Yeah.
you're using. Hey, what should I be using you for, ChatGPT? Or what should I be
Yeah.
using Claude for?
And the nice thing about Claude is there's a ton of free classes that Anthropic offers. I'm taking like the Claude Basics class. It's completely free on the website.
Okay.
And I'm sure as time goes on, there's going to be more classes for Claude and other tools out there. And I know a lot of universities now are offering different degrees. Like I was thinking about maybe going back to school and getting some sort of AI and business degree just to get ahead of the curve.
Okay. Well, this is what we're talking about. Like, you know, I hear all the time that the next wave of multimillionaires is going to come from utilizing AI in some way.
Yeah.
And and this is why. It's because I don't know how many billion people we have in this world, right? But they're like every one of them are going to use AI in their life somewhere, some form or another.
Mm-hmm.
So a company that solves a problem with AI is only going to continue to grow. And I think that we already have the first billion-dollar enterprise that uses primarily AI as its employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only going to continue to grow.
Right.
So it's super important to understand it. It's not going to replace. And it's funny that we started this conversation, this live with BNI.
Yeah.
This is a group, guys. Again, I'm going to give a plug to BNI before we wrap up with some other questions.
Uh-huh.
BNI's Business Network International, right? There's a lot of different networking groups out there. This is one of the oldest ones, and it's international.
Mm-hmm.
And through most of the time, BNI met in person, once a week, in the morning, typically, in person. And there's a group of professionals from all walks of life, all industries. And the importance of that is that we meet in person. We're getting to know each other. Like we have a group of BNI members right now eating lunch across from us right now, hanging out. When you know, like, and trust each other, and you see each other once a week, and not only that, we get held accountable to refer business to each other, right? And I visited a chapter the other day, part of the training, and we talked about AI. We spent an hour almost talking about AI. But nothing is going to replace the one-to-one connection.
Yes.
AI is a tool. It's important. If you don't adapt AI into your business, you're going to fall behind. The business owner that adapts it is the one that's going to continue to grab market share. But the person that not only adapts AI and utilizes it, but understands the power of connecting one-on-one, I think that's going to be the true winner. Right?
100%.
Because in the end, if you use all these tools that we're talking about, AEOs, SEO, GEO, we're going to attract people to our business.
Yeah.
But it's how we interact with that client.
100%. And I think like as the years go on, there's going to be a renaissance of the people who are going to be on top are the people that have critical thinking skills, emotional intelligence, things like that. Because I've noticed even with my generation as a Gen Zer, like people are losing the ability to think critically because they're outsourcing everything to AI.
Yeah. I think that's, you're right. I think everything kind of comes back around.
Yeah.
I think you have to use it as a tool. Don't use it as a crutch.
Right.
Right. And still focus on the emotional quotient. EQ.
Yes.
EQ is better, is more valuable than IQ.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because people work with people that they know, like, and trust.
And there's a lot of people who aren't very smart that are very rich, and a lot of very smart people who are not doing well because nobody gets along with them. I actually used to work in the aerospace industry in HR, and a lot of the engineers were incredibly talented at their jobs. They were building rocket ships and fighter jets for our military, but a lot of their feedback that I had to give as an HR person was they didn't know how to lead. They didn't know how to interact with their employees.
They were very technical.
Yes.
They didn't have the EQ.
Yes.
But EQ is what rules the world, man. Like,
yes.
like the most CEOs and leaders, you talk about like college dropouts and people that thought differently and connected with people and motivated people.
Right.
Those are the true leaders of the world.
Right.
The politicians, the presidents, right? Those are the people that have the EQ. Right? That's awesome, right? What's up? How much time we got? Oh, what time is it right now? Oh, so we got
we have so much time.
Good. All right. So, how much? This is something that gets asked a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're building your business brand, right?
Yeah.
How much of your personal life should you share, right, with your potential customers on Instagram, social media?
Yeah. You're going to hate me because my answer again is going to be, it depends. You should be sharing things in your personal life that, of course, increase your brand's reputation. But let's say you're a DUI lawyer. You shouldn't be sharing about how you hit a curb on your way to work.
Yeah, I got it.
It depends. Like, you want people to buy into you and also buy into your business. But there has to be some discernment there on
Yeah.
what you should and should not share.
Got it. Yeah. So I mean, I think people would like to know, you know, your family,
Mhm.
right? You're family oriented and your passions. I'll tell you right now, Paige. Like, so I'll post something about, a mortgage,
Yeah.
and I get X amount of views, right, or
Mhm.
interaction. I'll post my dogs
Yep.
10 times
Yeah.
the interaction. I had a video the other day where my daughter visited us from California. When my wife took a picture of my daughter and my dog Toby, and thousands of views,
Yeah.
right? I talk about FHA and I got like 10 views, right?
Yeah.
So I still think that the personal things for me
Hmm.
resonate more with people.
Yeah.
But that's important because those people that see my personal stuff, when I do post business stuff, the likelihood is that they're gonna see that too,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
Yeah, awesome. So let's talk about content strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can create one piece of content to be, let's say for example, all right, I already know your answer. It depends, but I'm gonna preface it for you.
Okay.
But if you can only create one piece of content each week, like if you're a new business, what kind of content will you push? Would you create?
When you're first starting out, you should really focus on establishing yourself and how you uniquely solve your unique audience's problem. Like, nobody cares about you grabbing a matcha and going to Pilates. Like, those day in my life videos, scratch those if you're trying to
Start
build
something
your
new.
business, build your brands. People need to know who you are, what you do, and what unique problem you solve. So I don't know what platform I would focus on because, again, that depends. But I would say main thing, you need to figure out the unique problem you solve, your ideal customer profile, and yeah, how you can solve people's problems.
So it goes back to what you said when we first started this live. It's about being direct.
Yeah.
In a few short seconds, can somebody see what you do and what problem you can solve for them?
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you are a realtor and when you go into your Instagram feed, it's just you trying foods at different restaurants and looking cute.
Hmm.
I can tell you you're a realtor is not going to grow the audience that you're looking to attract.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. So it's about it should so when somebody I'm assuming that when somebody hires you, you're looking at all of their profiles on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Hmm.
and one of the first things that you look for is what problem they can
Yeah.
solve.
Like,
What do they
I
do?
should be able to look at my client's profile within 5 seconds, know what they do, what unique problem they solve.
Yeah, I think that's important, and we learned that too. Like in my coaching program that I'm part of. Shout out to Go Coaching. Um, they looked at my profile and they tore it apart, right? And one of the things that I have on my Instagram now is I have a banner across, and so people see that I do mortgages,
Hmm.
right? And then my feed now is me giving most educational video,
Hmm.
so that way within 5 seconds people know what I do,
Yeah.
which is super important. A lot of times people don't really look at that, right?
Right.
Actually, I just learned recently that you can. So on Instagram, you can move the grid on Instagram. So it's almost like you can take something that you posted a while back,
Hmm.
and you can move the grid so that way that can be. You don't even have to pin it. You can just move it so it's in the top of your page, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is cool.
All right. How often should someone post on social media?
I think that people should be posting quality content as frequently as possible. That doesn't mean make one really good reel and only post once a month, or post every single day but have no strategy behind it. I think the answer that you're looking for is posting quality content as frequently as you can. And again, if you're doing this on your own, content creation is a skill. So yeah, posting every day is good to build that muscle. And then over time, you'll learn what works, what doesn't. And then maybe you can start posting 4 times a week or 3 times a week. But I would say, short answer, quality content as frequently as possible.
I think that's great. So even if it's gonna be, start off with once a week, be thoughtful about it, and once you get better at it, then go to twice a week. But it has to be quality.
Yeah.
Sometimes I post crap. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's okay.
Right. I try to be intentful, right? But I do, like yesterday, Paige. You know what I did yesterday?
What?
I cheated, right? So check this out. I'm gonna keep it real. So I didn't post anything. I was feeling crappy all day.
Hmm.
I know I have to post every day, whether it's on my feed or on my story, right? I have to post something every day. I didn't post anything. So like in the afternoon, I just texted because Facebook tells me that my text posts have more engagement than my photos and my reels.
Right.
So I just posted a text and I said, I said something to the effect of, building a brand online is about being consistent and posting consistently or whatever. But sometimes I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
So this is my post. Here it is.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So so it had nothing to do with what I solved, right? The problem
Yeah.
I solved, but I think again, it's about really being thoughtful about what you're gonna post. But I also do think this. I have a saying: done is better than perfect.
Yes.
Most people wait till they have perfection, and then because of that, they never post,
Right.
right? Because they want things to be perfect, and I think that's more detrimental than posting consistently and figuring it out. But you're at least posting consistently.
Right.
It's because when you post consistently, you're gonna be like, wow, I need better lighting. I need to say this better. You're constantly critiquing yourself, and you're looking at the videos and the reels and the posts that are doing well as compared to something that you don't even post. Would
Yeah.
you agree with that? Done is better than perfect.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I just said, content creation is a skill. Like
Yeah.
if you're posting talk to camera videos and you've never done that for the first time, unless like you were born with this gift, you're gonna be really bad at it. But over time, you are going to get better.
Consistency beats perfection.
Yes.
Most people not even in business, in life, they have analysis paralysis. And the key differentiator between anybody that's successful, right, and those that aren't, is that they make decisions quicker, they pivot quicker, they act quicker, they make more mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's those mistakes that make you, right?
Right.
So when you have analysis paralysis, you make less mistakes, absolutely, but you don't learn from them. So you plateau. You got to go out there and try things and get better. And I can tell you right now that the richest men in the world, the Amazons and the Elon Musk and the Jeff Bezos, they've failed time and time again, but they work quick to pivot, and eventually they found the formula, right?
Right.
So it's just for you, right? I just had I had a coaching call on the way here. I've been in this business for 9 years, and I tried a lot of different things, and I still think I have a long way to go, Paige, right?
Right.
But I think now I'm figuring out my strategy
Right. That's awesome.
after 9 years.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time
Yeah. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
and a lot of failures,
Yes.
but you got to fail in order to learn, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's go back to AI, right?
Yeah.
It's changed so much in the last couple of years, but
Yes.
where do you see it? Where do you see AI? How do you see AI changing marketing, like your profession,
Yeah.
over the next few years?
That's a great question. I think that AI can help and hurt businesses in terms of marketing in so
Yeah.
many ways. One thing that I hate to see now is clearly AI generated logos or flyers. Like, I don't know, the fact that like a business owner can't take the 2 seconds to learn something on Canva or hiring a marketing agency to make a logo for them, that indicates to your buyers that, hey, I'm broke and I'm not willing to invest in a skill or pay $14 for Canva Premium to learn how to make a logo or a flyer. Every time I walk into a new business and I see a logo or a flyer that's completely AI generated, it makes me not want to buy from them. Like that is something, as somebody in marketing, that makes my blood boil. So I think the people who are going to do well with AI in marketing are the ones that recognize it as a tool and not as a replacement for their brain.
I do see that, and I've been guilty of that too, right? With using things to post like with flyers and whatnot, and then my face gets all messed up, right? And is that me, right? Sometimes you miss, so it's not perfect. So I see that, but then not only that, in my social media feed, I see a lot of the same templates, right? A lot of the same stuff.
Right.
So I could just tell already this was AI generated, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff is clunky. A lot of times it's really clunky when you create things, right?
Right.
So okay. So now, do you like? Let's talk about this because this is important, right? In
Right.
your marketing, do you think that AI will take over a lot of marketing firms? Like meaning people won't hire marketing companies because they feel like AI can do the job?
No. I think AI can make certain admin processes more efficient, but you need that human touch, especially when it comes to strategy, because a lot of the times these AI tools will just spit out the exact same strategy for
Yeah.
every single one of their people.
Yeah, I agree. You have to have that it has to be a duality, right?
Yeah.
So what tools? Okay, so like if you were a business owner Like, what are some cool tools? What are some cool tools that you think that the average person building their business? What are some cool tools that you would recommend for them to use to kind of get started? Right? You mentioned
Yeah.
Canva, right?
Yeah, Canva is great, and you can use Canva AI for inspiration, but I would not completely have your graphics AI generated. Also, like, this is a fun part of being a business owner. You get to do arts and crafts. How often do you get to do arts and crafts as an adult? Like, that is a fun part of business. And then something like Claude can be extremely helpful for market research. You can write in a really detailed prompt like, hey, I am a loan officer in this area of New Jersey. I want to target this type of people, do market research, find my competitors, figure out what's missing from them, where I can improve, and then Claude can write a whole detailed report for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I even use it for optimizing responses. So, for example, when somebody wants to introduce me to a client, I tell them
Mhm.
it's better to put me in a group chat through text.
Mhm.
And I've used Claude to optimize my response real quickly, so I can
Right.
copy and paste. Thank you for the connection, right? I would love to help you.
Mhm.
Well, it's a good time to talk. Here's a free copy here's a free copy of my book to download, because
Mhm.
now that lead is gonna go to my CRM, and now they're gonna have a drip campaign.
Right.
Here's my calendar, so you can schedule a call with me.
Right.
So like I've used it to increase my efficiency, but
Yeah.
I'm the one still responding to the text and doing
Yes.
those kinds of things, right? Because AI is not gonna be able to do that stuff for
Yeah.
you, right? Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Right? All right. Google or ChatGPT? What do you prefer?
ChatGPT.
Why?
It's quicker.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Google, it will give you too many results and it can be overwhelming. And if you want like a quick, easy answer, sometimes ChatGPT is more helpful. Another fun fact is when a business is recommended by AI, that buyer is 23 times more likely to make a purchasing decision. So they are 23 times more likely to convert. So that's why right now at Bullseye, our clients that are already invested in SEO, we're really trying to push for them to invest in AEO or GEO, because right now it's extremely early. I guess I can compare it to TikTok in 2020. Like all the people who were posting on TikTok in 2020 are now multimillionaires because they bought in early, or like buying in Bitcoin early. All the people who bought in Bitcoin early are now extremely rich. So right now there's that new opportunity to invest in AEO and GEO because not everybody knows about it and not everybody is doing it right now.
Be an early adapter, right? So you have to be an early adapter, right? You have the innovators, which are the people that start the stuff up. Then you want to be in the early stages, an early adapter. Most people are laggards. They wait for years until they have to catch on to it, right? So don't be a laggard.
Yes.
But I want you to repeat that, because I think this is going to be clipped.
Okay.
That 23% ratio, something you just taught me.
Yeah. So
repeat
somebody who is recommended a brand or a service by AI, they are 23 more times likely to convert because ChatGPT has already given them that trust. They don't have to read the website and figure out, do I trust this person? Are they credible? ChatGPT is already recommending them as credible.
That's so key. I love that. This is gonna go viral.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people, I think, are trusting ChatGPT and AI more than they're trusting human beings, and that's kind of sad,
which is extremely scary. Yeah.
right? I have clients of mine that are challenging what I say, and they're checking ChatGPT or Claude, and I'm okay with that because I'm able to show my value and educate them, right? But I saw a video on TikTok the other day. It was pretty funny. A realtor was on the video. A realtor was showing a client a house, and the realtor said, "And these are hardwood floors." And then the person was recording it and was like, "ChatGPT, are these hardwood floors?" So they were just challenging everything that the realtor was saying.
Yeah.
So, but I also think it's indicative, right? And this is important on who's buying houses, for example, in my case, and who's consuming. Well, the millennial is now 40 years old, right? They're the ones buying the houses.
Right.
They're the second largest generation after the baby boomer generation, which is now retiring and whatnot. And guess what, right? These millennials and the younger are comfortable using chat and AI.
Yeah.
And even the younger generation, our kids, it took a while for my son to be able to make an order through McDonald's, right? Or pick up a phone and order a pizza. it was all Uber Eats.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. Leave it at the doorstep.
Yeah.
No human interaction.
Yeah.
And that's the way a lot of people are going, right? But I think that, again, going back to connecting with people, use it as a tool, don't use it as a crutch, right? Awesome. So ChatGPT, 23% more likely. I love that.
Yeah.
Super important. And if you guys want to schedule a one-on-one consultation with Paige, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put her information in the end, because if you're a business and you need help because you don't have time for all this crap,
Yeah.
this is time consuming.
Yeah.
So
It
you
is
can,
time
so you can
consuming.
focus on selling, right? There's nobody better in this area than Bullseye Marketing. Now, if somebody were to start today, right, and you recommend them,
Yeah.
would you recommend doing a blog or a video on social media?
I would say they most likely have time to do both.
Mm.
Human beings are extremely unique. Some people make buying decisions after watching something on TikTok. Some people make buying decisions after seeing that they're featured in a credible website, like our client that we're getting featured in Forbes. So it depends, because we all make buying decisions differently.
Got it. Do you also run this is something I just thought about, right?
Yeah.
Do you also like run campaigns and ads for your clients?
Yeah, we run Instagram ads, Google ads, Meta ads. We do PPC. We do everything and anything under the sun. Like, we are a full service agency.
That's super important, right? Because, right, when you run ads, people in your area are gonna see you pop up, right? And that's what people when they see something on their phone, because listen, that phone is the most important screen in our lives right now.
Yes.
We're always constantly glued to it.
Yes.
So if I'm rolling something and I see, listen, you know how many times my wife sees a nice little cafe and she shares it to me? It came up on her feed because it's an algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's people share.
Yeah.
And if somebody shares something with me, I'm also more likely to go visit that place.
Yes.
So running ads is super important. Okay. How about email? Like, do you do anything is email dead? Like, do you do anything with email?
No, email is not dead, but I will say now, with people outsourcing again their intelligence to AI,
Yeah.
the barrier to entry is much less difficult.
Yeah.
So it's important that you hire somebody, or you yourself learn the ins and outs of copywriting. I guess one book that I can recommend is The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. He teaches you how to write emails and create that sense of urgency in your buyers. If you're at that point in your life where you want to start email marketing, but maybe like you're not able to invest in marketing services, that's one tool that I can recommend for somebody that wants to invest in email marketing, is reading The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy.
Another dropping gems to you today.
Yes.
We always do. All right. What we got? We're almost done. All right. So, how about websites?
Yeah.
Are websites important for people to build their personal brand?
Extremely important, because that's also how you get cited by AI for GEO and recommended as an answer for AEO, and then also with SEO. Some people, they look for services, businesses they want to invest in on TikTok. Some people search on ChatGPT. Some people search on Google. So websites are extremely important to make sure that people find you, and not only find you, but choose you.
Got it. I need help with my website. Can you help me?
Of course I can.
My website's horrible. So I do own ericestevezalender.com. But right now it's just people click on it,
Yeah.
and it's just it goes to my company website to apply online or whatever, right? It's boring.
Yeah.
And it's not me. I'm not a boring person. So I need help with that.
Okay.
All right, cool. So we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
So you hear right here. We're conducting business.
Yes.
Right. We're gonna hire Bullseye Marketing so they can help me with a website. But
Okay,
you
amazing.
need to make me look fly.
Okay, we can do that. We have professional photographers that we can do for you to have photo shoots, things like that. We also have a new feature that we've added for some of our clients that is an AI chatbot. So people can just type in questions and the chatbot will answer it.
I need that. I need people to go to my website, see what I do, see that I speak Spanish,
Yeah.
able to see reviews that I'm doing, be able to, go to my company website to apply, whether in English or in Spanish.
Right.
Testimonials, videos, right? Mine is very generic, right? And it's something that I need to work on. So awesome. So we'll talk about that. Cool. All right. So we're coming to the end of our live. A lot of great information that you shared. What do you want to leave our viewers with? Where can they find you? If there's somebody wanting to get in contact with you, please drop all your socials. what's
Yeah.
the best way to reach out to you?
So my email is paige, Paige, at bullseyeglobal.com, and then that's BULLZEYE. You can also DM us on Instagram at Bullseye Media Marketing, or my personal page, which is at Healing by Paige. In addition to this job, I am also a sound healer, so if you want to message me there, I'm also on LinkedIn at Paige Goldstein. And I guess if I have to leave like one nugget of wisdom, it would be don't be afraid to invest in services that are outside of your skill set, because a lot of the times you make that money back tenfold. Whenever I've invested in a coach or learned a new skill, I've always made the money back. So if you are somebody who wants to get more reach, be discoverable by AI, revamp your website, don't waste hours of your time watching YouTube tutorials on how to build a website, learning how to what people are calling vibe code. Just save yourself the time and energy, which I believe is way more expensive than money itself, and invest in an agency like Bullseye.
Guys, invest in your business, right? When you invest in your business, you gain more credibility.
Mhm.
And then shout out to she talked about sound healing, and it's funny because a few weeks ago we interviewed a fellow friend of ours, Valeria Marine, who owns the corner house in Elizabeth, and you did a class there,
Yeah,
right?
I did, yeah. With
So-
Lisa, who owns Omi's as well. It was
Awesome.
me, Valeria, and Lisa.
That's Omi's. You know Omi's, right? You
Yeah.
know Omi's? So shout out, right? Look at that. Comes full circle.
Yes.
Paige, you were a pleasure to talk to. I think
Thank
this
you.
is super important. Guys, AEO, GEO.
Yes.
Put that in your vocabulary. Ask ChatGPT or Claude, Perplexity, whatever, how you can increase that for your business, right? To start. But you need an expert behind you, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure one of the first things you're gonna do is hire Bullseye Marketing.
Yes.
Awesome, Paige. Thank you very much
Yep,
for your
you're
time.
welcome. Thanks for
Appreciate you.
having me.
Nah, this is awesome. This is fun, like always. Thanks.